My summoner name is White, and I play the mid lane for University of Maryland.
I'm Short Hop. I'm in my third year of school, and I'm studying computer engineering. I play AD carry.
My summoner name is Wezzy.
My name is William Kim. My role is ADC.
My summoner name is Yang,
I'm Blaze Nova.
and I've been playing League since freshman year of high school.
I am in second year of my school, and I'm in medical sciences.
I'm Julius.
My summoner name's Already.
I'm in first year and I major in integrated science.
My real name's Lee Fagan. I'm the AD carry for University of Maryland.
I'm going by Chim. I am in my third year at the University of Western Ontario.
Favorite champion currently is Kaisa. She's extremely fun to coordinate and play, and her ultimate gives her a lot of mobility to use in many different ways.
Sometimes I secondary role in mid lane, and when I'm in there, Corki's usually my go-to.
Well, my favorite champion is probably not exactly what you're expecting. It's Blitzcrank. I mean, support is probably my favorite role. I like being able to ignore farming and just focusing on messing with the other laners, honestly, and Blitzcrank is a really good champion for that.
Gotta be Janna, because she's just like so good at peeling for the AD carry, right? And just healing up the team.
Probably to go with Oriana. Oriana, definitely, yeah. Just the huge shockwaves and just being able to like change the course of a team fight and having constant lane pressure and priority is just always been awesome for me.
Like legit, you just shield your AD carry when they take damage. You tornado them when someone's coming close.
My favorite champion is Elise.
You W them to damage and slow whoever's coming at you.
My favorite champion is Twitch. I like to be sneaky and go to sneak behind to the enemy team and one-shot their carries.
I like Rakan a lot. Rakan is, I think his character design, like from the kit to his personality, I just love every bit of it.
And you can also just ulti to like, boom, make everyone go like.
Welcome back to the League of Legends College Championship presented by State Farm. We're gearing up for Game 2 of Maryland versus Western Ontario after a delayed but decisive win from the Canadian squad.
That's some passionate Janna play there. He is feeling the Janna. I'm liking it. And yeah, they did have a very good game one. It did stall a little bit, as you were saying, but honestly, very impressive game one from the University of Western Ontario. And this is actually the only undefeated team in the whole tournament. You know, they are coming in as the third seed, but they were undefeated. And this is, you know, a team that has kind of very humble origins. They are not supported fully by their university. Everything is kind of set up by Short Hop, their AD carry, who, you know, you can tell is very, very passionate about the game, very passionate about League of Legends, and really, you know, kind of wants his team to grow and their university program to grow, and hopefully, you know, that can happen for them. And despite the fact that it's a student-run team, there's no official support, they're all full-time students, lots of them with jobs, etc. All 5 of them have hit Challenger this season. So this is like a very, very high-ranking team, a lot of young talent on this team. And, you know, they're all talking a lot about, like, how can you do that? How can you be a full-time student, hit Challenger, do well in school, do all these different things, play competitively? And it's time management. That is what a lot of these guys have been talking about. You know, being able to be very effective with their time, which I'm always not very good at.
I'm well-versed in the opposite of that, which is
wake up on a Saturday,
egregious
start looking at your phone,
of time.
Look up, it's 3 p.m., what happened?
One studying or practicing up League of Legends, apparently. That's definitely the reason I'm not a Challenger, is poor side man.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, that's definitely the only reason. Well, you can see Julius.
My teammates and my time management.
There on your screen. Had a pretty nice Graves game there. Both he and Short Up were deathless in that game. And Julius, I believe, had 100% kill participation in that last game as well. So playing as a team, which is always nice to see from a grassroots organization, but doing work on the Graves.
Yeah, definitely the case. And, you know, over on the side of Maryland, Yami and White have been playing together since 2015. So they've been playing for quite a long time, you know, on professional league teams. They were playing together in high school. They won the High School Star League in 2015 against Nuke, who is, you know, Captain Nuke, who is also in this tournament. And they've really been kind of just sticking together as this squad and as this team for a long time, really growing, really improving. They were undefeated before losing to Maryland in finals. Rather, Illinois was undefeated before they were beaten by Maryland in finals.
So again, coming through, winning that conference, but now backs against the wall, going to have to win 2 straight if they want to continue on in the tournament. As Canada's last hope is hoping for a sweep. We've had sweeps so far in the top 8. We'll see if that trend stops now as Rakan and Singe will get banned away. And there's Rengar Kha'Zix once again taken away from Wezzy.
Yeah, they want to ban away those kind of assassin 80 junglers from Wezzy. We'll see if he's going to go back to the tank, go back to something like the Zac once more. or if they are going to look to perhaps try to first pick away that Graves, which has been a very high priority so far in the tournament, but Maryland don't want it and don't want to play against it. Are going to take it off the table here from Julius, who, as you said, had an incredibly strong game on the Graves. A very strong team fighting. His pathing was really intelligent. He was just pretty much doing it all right.
I think justifying the first pick they had on blue side, but of course the teams have swapped. Aurelia is banned, and Kaisa is available. Alrighty, snaps that up away from short hop.
Yeah, and I believe that was actually banned out by Maryland on the red side, so they are really highly prioritizing this pick. That was Short Hop's favorite champion, and Short Hop is a guy who loves to play those hyper carries, but it's going to be Alrighty over on it. Zaya, his most played, but he's going to be moving over onto the Kaisa, which is so incredibly strong. It really does feel like kind of just a stronger version of Vayne to me, honestly. Yep. It feels like it can do and accomplish very similar things to Vayne in the later and mid-game stages once you have some items, but it has a much better laning phase, I think, largely in part to the fact that the Q gives you some wave clear, right? And that's something that a lot of these AD carries without tend to struggle against. You get pushed in, you get poked out, but Kaisa can handle that pretty well.
Yeah, when you have short range and no ability to AoE waves, you have a bad time under the turret, perhaps continuing to be pushed in by the likes of Caitlin Morgana, the run back here for Western Ontario.
And it is a really tough lane for the Kaisa to deal with. If there was one champion that a lot of people talk about is kind of the Kaisa counter on these patches, it always really was Caitlin, because you have to remember this is before the itemization changes for the bot lane marksman, and crit AD carries are still incredibly strong, so Caitlin plus Morgana going to push you in. It's actually going to be the Kaisa Taric. Now this is a really cool combo, and immediately what I'm thinking of as soon as I see this is, all right, Kaisa will dive in with the Taric stun, with the Taric ultimate. So you're putting essentially an immune to damage Kaisa with a stun into the backline, and that is something that is very, very powerful. And because with Kaisa's ultimate, you can choose any location within essentially the radius around the champion that is marked, or with your plasma, you can aim that Taric stun very easily. If you are coordinated, you want to aim it up, you ult below them, that stun lands. Pretty cool combo there.
Yeah, Talia also been a pretty highly priced pick so far in the top 8 here in the College Championship, so White going to grab that, and most played support as well for Quirk there with the Taric, so clearly well versed on the champion as well. Karma will be taken away. Chim going to have that one into the mid lane.
Yeah, mid lane Karma here for Chim, and I think it's smart into White. For all the reasons that Talia is strong, Karma is an annoying matchup, essentially. It's like Talia pushes you in and then roams and is successful elsewhere. It's very rarely about the 1v1. It's very rarely about her actual lane. And what Karma does is have a very strong shove of her own, and very often you will see Tyr into straight banner, or sometimes even just straight banner. And that is to lock down Talia in her lane. That is to say, you do not get to roam. If you do, you will lose your turret. You will not get as much as I will. And that is something that can be very, very effective against Talia, because if she doesn't get on the map, if she's not proactive, it can be hard to have that same level of effect.
You can see On and Trundle now banned away, top versus jungle as far as these first bans go, now that we've moved into phase 2 of this draft. One more remaining. We'll see exactly where Western Ontario wants to go. A bit of consideration here as the players talk back and forth, but looks like they have decided on that final ban.
It's also a lot of eggs in the Short Hop basket, right? This is the Caitlyn, did very well in game 1. You are now giving essentially a secondary support in the mid lane. This Karma going to be able to shield you up, buff you up. That is going to be a very well protected Caitlyn, especially if you're drafting, top or jungle tank, or perhaps even both. Like, that means the Caitlyn is going to have a front line. That means the Caitlyn has the magic immunity from the Black Shield on top of the Karma shielding. So definitely, if that Caitlyn gets ahead, it will be extremely difficult to deal with in the team fights.
Also, a ton of junglers banned out as well in that last phase. Wow. So not too much left up here. Julius may have to fall back to Zinjao. He does lock it in.
Yeah. And I mean, it's one of the kind of really strong ones that are still on the table that is an aggressive pick.
Yes.
So if you're looking for jungle dueling, if you're looking for early game pressure, that is something that could certainly give you. The thing with Xin that always makes me a little nervous is it feels like Xin must win early to also win late, right? This is a champion with almost no fallback. You are so one-dimensional. It's E into the fight, hope you kill him, right? Yes, there is some utility with the ultimate that they have added, and Nunu as the pick. So also, a lot of buff, a lot of protection here for the Kaisa. Nunu providing zoning in the team fight, providing the blood boil for the Kaisa, the Taric as well, there to kind of buff that up. So similar styles here coming out, but yeah, if if you don't see Xin be effective, the Nunu is just going to be so much more useful in the team fight. So yeah, Xin has the ultimate that can kind of block some ranged attacks, and that is somewhat useful. But it's definitely hard.
Oh,
my god. That's Nunu top.
Yeah, that's Nunu top for Yang, and that is blind pick Nunu top for Yang. This guy has just got all the creative
Jana,
picks.
the Volibear. John and top, that's the answer, of course. This is interesting. So Nunu top is exceptionally annoying to lane against. That being said, you want to talk about fall off?
Yeah.
As far as the laning phase, like all this champion does in lane is throw snowballs at you. If it doesn't actually, really smash lane, if you start getting a little bit too tanky, he doesn't do anything, right? Like you can just build a full tank Nunu, but coming from the top lane, yes, it's adding a little bit more kind of objective secure. You can do some counter jungling and some kind of annoying things like that. It's good around Rift Herald and dragons and so on, but you really are not bringing a lot of damage by any means. This is kind of, in a way, very similar to what Maryland did in game number 1, where they had Tom Kench top. It's kind of like this lane-focused tank that maybe isn't going to be as effective elsewhere if it doesn't do really well early. It's not a lot of damage, again, as it's essentially tank support, tank and jungle top. It's, again, really all on the backs of Alrighty and White to be able to put out that pressure. Epic is going to be back on the Malphite. He's going to be trying to do the same thing again, sustain through that laning phase, survive through that. And it's going to be all about Short Hop and Alrighty. Those guys battling off, being protected, who can do better. And can Julius have effectiveness in the early game on the Xin?
We'll have to find out, but it takes a certain kind of player to play Tom Kench and Nunu top lane, as Epic has once again selected Malphite to kind of breeze through the lane as best he can.
I mean, I can't say I expected a Nunu top.
No.
I definitely cannot say a blind Nunu top.
With Arcane Comet,
Mind you,
nonetheless. I am ready.
So he's at least going to build some AP or at least some mana items. So I have seen different variations on this, and this is one of those things where you lane against it, and every top laner has spent games laning against this that are just so miserable, right? Like, you get snowballed, the Comet hits you because the slow is enough, there's no real interaction, there's no outplay there. And if you're not a champion that can actually sustain well through that, you're essentially completely dependent upon your jungler to come. And if your jungler does not come, you get snowballed to death. And it feels real bad.
There's also some consume potential on the banner creep, so it's all sorts of levels they're working with here. But, Yang certainly got style as a player, playing for a while, so I like to see some different things here.
You do a stylish pick?
I mean, no, but it's different, so that counts.
I like
at least for today.
I'll give it to him.
Like I say, he's playing Nunu Tom Kench in the top lane. He is a very.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. We'll see how it works out. I mean, he's starting Doran's Ring. If he really wants to style on him, he's like going full AP, right? He's like rushing Ludens and camping a brush and trying to get a full channel absolute zero.
It's great against Xin Zhao. Perfect.
Yep.
You found the counter pick.
There you go. Nothing you can do.
Well, we'll see about that. Both teams that once again spread out across the rift. Looks like no early action here.
Interesting to see Quirk had decided to go, Ignite. So he is looking for perhaps the kill potential when Wezzy does come down. If they do have roams from him, if they do have roams from White, they want to be able to actually burst down and kill some of these guys instead of going for something like the Exhaust, which can be very effective against Julius on this Xin Zhao. But he's also going Relic Shield. And it does make you more tanky. It does make you more kind of survivable. But in a lot of lanes where you're constantly pushed in, I find Coin can be more effective simply because it gives you more mana and it kind of gives you the ability to actually sustain through this. In some of the really heavy losing lanes, you can actually just max heal on Taric and kind of be able to survive through them. So we'll see how he's going to play it, how this is going to work out as Malphite versus Nunu. It would have been funny if, as an answer, Epic actually just went Q-Max, Comet, Malphite, and then just sit there throwing at each other.
Highly interactive gameplay we would have had as Alrighty to get some missiles down the in onto Blaze Nova, but some poke trader back there with the pool. Again, the double range versus melee support lane. Again, looking to get that push early and often.
Yeah, definitely the case. And you're expecting to get shoved in, as this Taric plus Kai'Sa lane. But you're hoping to be able to survive under the turret. You're hoping to be able to collect as much of that farm as possible, and then potentially set up ganks, because Taric does have very good gank assist. If you put your Bastion over onto the Zac, you can hit your Dazzle very, very well. Throw the Dazzle on the Zac as the Zac is leaping in, and you can kind of follow that up with a stun, and then be able to easily kind of grab and slap them together. So there are some pretty powerful combos, but again, Blaze Nova is going to have the Wax Shield to try to answer that. He's going to be prepared for that.
Oh! So juicy. Invade there for Julius. Doesn't get the big raptor, but 40 gold as he charges down and gets all 4.
But his lanes are pushing, so he can just go in for the red, right? Like, you can just actually continue to harass this Zac and look to push him out of his jungle. And they are going to start up. Blaze Nova's coming over. Chim has moved down here as well. And you can see Shorehop is just trying to shove. They know the bot lane is coming, so now you back off. You try to get the wave pushing. But he can stay around. Like, he can just continually do this and try to be super, super annoying. So, you know, Wesley's actually making the smart play, which is just doing the Krugs, which is the safer move. And this is going to kind of force Western Ontario's hand to go over and start this up. And we'll see if the fight actually breaks out, or nope, they'll just give it up.
Yep, Julius now going to get the 3 buff after that. Did a very fast buff to buff, and then a nice invade using, again, that lane priority to move things forward. I feel like University of Western Ontario, especially given the total KP in the last game, seem to have a lot of really good early coordination. The early game was exceptional, I would say, the first 15 to 20 minutes of the game, and it was a lot of just really smart map movement and team play more than anything else.
And top lane looking very reminiscent of last game as well. You know, CS is even, but there's a big wave pushing towards Epic, and that was kind of very similar to Yang, you know, versus Epic on the Tom Kent versus Malphite. So, you know, we'll have to see. You know, can Yang actually bully the Malphite out, because he started Doran Shield. He's very likely just going to rush straight into a Catalyst. I mean, it's triple magic damage top side of the map, so there's no way as the Malphite you don't rush Abyssal or some sort of magic resistance, and that's going to make you incredibly hard to actually punish. You know, if Zac comes up, if Talia comes up, who cares? Magic resistance is what answers all 3 of those.
Well, for the first time in a long time, actually, I'm curious to see what was happening in top lane, but now Yang's going to go back and get his first item. Blasting one. No Magic Mantle. All right. He's
going banner.
Buff number there as well, so yeah, he's going to start off with the banner.
Yep, so he's just going to rush banner Nunu. Same idea as what he was trying to do on the Tom Catch. You know, just perhaps hoping that, hey, yes, I don't have as much kill potential maybe, and I don't have the same kind of roam potential, but he's still going to have team fight zoning, and he is going to still be a blood boil for a Kai'Sa, right? So if the Kai'Sa is doing very well, and you have a blood boiled Kai'Sa, you know, with Rage Blade, with this Taric protecting her, that can be very, very powerful. And it certainly is a potential win condition, but we're going to have to see how effective it really will be.
Pretty subdued early game so far. They're only 5 minutes through this second game here. Looks like both teams are kind of doing their thing. Again, credit to Julius for some smart pathing, using the pressure of his more aggressive jungle pick to once again try and get an edge over to Zac, but team's just kind of chilling out, playing safe. Alright, he's going to last sit under the turret. Is behind a little over a wave at this point.
Yeah.
Should be okay.
Yeah, it is okay as long as that stabilizes,
Yes.
right? Where it gets concerning is if you're consistently kind of bleeding that CS and you can't actually, you know, hold it more even. So we'll see how he's going to be able to do in that regard. You know, one of the big things also is how healthy is your turret, right? And so far they have kind of stopped too much of that chip damage from coming through, and they can keep it relatively even. The Kai'Sa, similar to the Ezreal, similar to Varus, and these different things that we talked about, is much stronger on Caitlyn than one item, right? Like, if you get to that Rage Blade that I'm assuming the Kai'Sa will go for, yes, sometimes people went Essence Reaver on these patches and things like that, but Rage Blade is a standard. When you're on your one item, you are much stronger than whatever Caitlyn can build with the same amount of. So that is really what you're looking for. You're looking for the Rage Blade, you know, into potentially early Zerker Greaves, get a very fast E evolve for kind of the invis on your supercharge, and you're going to be very, very strong. Plus, there is quite a bit of actual assist for CC, which is going to stack up your plasma very fast.
Kind of like what's all been put together, but Julius looking for a gank here onto White. Not going to pop the charge, not quite in range, I don't think, so White will escape that bit of pressure, as it's just been kind of a farm fest here in the mid side, but Shim is, as expected, rushing the banner by the looks of things, as Wesi try and start up this blue buff and keep Julius out of his jungle for once.
Yep, Chim deciding not even to make a pit stop for a tier, which I always like those builds just because Karma can be very, very mana hungry, especially in the later stages of the game when you are really rotating through your spells nonstop. But some players, it's just a trade-off, right? It's, do you want more scaling, do you want more effectiveness later? Or do you want the banner as fast as humanly possible to lock down the Talia and say, no, the Talia doesn't get to do anything fun ever. She has to stay in lane with me. Because that is very effective, and that is very important, right? They're trying to protect, again, this pushing bottom lane. They're just kind of doing it in a bit of a different way. We saw how well Julius played around the Caitlyn Morgana in game number 1, and this is the same idea. It's just Chim also kind of pitching in to help. You see 3 pink wards on the bottom side of river, you know, from UWO, trying to cover that bottom lane from any potential roamers too.
Looks like top lane gonna get a visit here. Oh, Epic clips him after the flash, and now Julius insta flashes in with the robot, looking for the kill. He's gonna grab it. It's first blood over to the jungler.
Yeah, nicely done. Yang not able to actually avoid the ult with the flash, and when you get tagged after flashing, you are surely going down. Julius with more than enough damage grabs the first blood. So definitely well done from them there, and they have really kind of shut down this Nunu's laning phase. Nunu has not really gotten any advantages. You know, Catalyst early was already completed for Epic. Yes, he is going to be getting a banner, and it's still going to be annoying, but it's hard to see the Nunu being super effective without some sort of a lead. And here it is once more. Let's watch this Malphite ultimate. And that is just really smart. So what Epic does is he basically puts the ultimate on the far side of the circle of his opponent. So if he doesn't flash, he catches him on the edge on the top. And if he does flash, he's just flashing into the bottom side of the other ultimate.
Well placed there. Where's he going to try and turn it around here in mid lane? Great flash though from Tim. Barely timing that to get out from under Talia's seismic shove. But flash down there for the Karma.
Yeah, nice gank from Wezzy. Definitely a necessary flash there from Chim. Don't want to hold on too late because that's a mistake a lot of players make. You know, at pro level as well, where you see the CC coming in, you think, oh, maybe I can avoid it. But if you don't, you're dead. You flashing afterwards is just essentially just a waste. So the early flash there is intelligent. And the advantage is extending, for short hop, but there's still a lot of farm to pick up for already. So we'll see how well he can do, getting the rest of this farm under turret, and if he can keep this close. You definitely want to be within striking distance of the Caitlyn. It's okay to go down like 10-15 CS, but if you're going down more than that, if you're starting to lose your turrets, that's where it stops to really be acceptable.
Yeah, it should be okay if he gets most of these, so we'll see just how many he's able to pick up as University of Western Ontario doing a nice job kind of keeping the wave back and just denying. I mean, it's a little bit of a slower way to play the lane, but you kind of get the job done eventually. Well, it does give Wezzy time to run down, however. Some good vision there. He's going to spot him out, although Ward's about to time out. So Julius now going to make his way down and look to try and counter some of this pressure.
Yeah, the Scuttle's already taken him out from Wezzy, so he can just hop on out. I don't know if he was actually spotted. I don't think he was. He didn't walk over it. Now they know where Wezzy was. The Dragon was started up, and things all around.
Well, Zach is up over the wall, so Wezzy out safely. As Blaze Nova very far forward in this brush, fishing for bindings. Oh, quite grab already. Nice supercharger from Kai'Sa. Just enough move speed to get out from under. But now 20 CS down. There's only 4 creeps in this wave. Starting to get kind of to the danger zone.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, right? Julius going in on white. Maybe a flash. Nope, couldn't get the knock up.
Kills out instead. And again, more bindings being fished for eventually. One gonna hit, but already dodges up. Gets out from under that as Quirk again, trying to retake control of that brush.
Yeah, I mean, the CS disadvantage is definitely big, but Kai'Sa does skill very well, and Taric scales very well also, and is going for tier. But they're going to try to set up a dive here. Epic going to look to tank it up, and in they go.
Yeah, another ult there. Yang with no flashes of sitting duck, and Julius able to grab kill number 2. Chim, though, in the mid lane is going to be answered as Wezzy able to grab the kill in the trade.
And maybe should have just given that one over to White. It was actually secured with the chilling smite. It looked like Chim was dead to rights, but they want to make sure they get it. A trade of kills, so not too bad for Maryland, keeping much closer in this game. And Wezzy going to go up, to clear out those minions, keep that turret safe. They want to definitely try to keep that alive. But I do like tier a lot here for Quirk. And people used to think this was kind of more of a silly build, but Taric is so mana hungry. And when you utilize this passive well, if you're able to actually, especially for neutral objectives like Baron, you can heal, and then the 2 autos with your passive actually is enough to give you a 2-stack heal. And Wezzy just didn't let his jump go. I'm not sure what happened there.
He's got flash and maybe going to have to use it. Depending on passive, does finally flash out. Julius now up against Yang, but Epic's coming down. Chim's also here. There's the shield, going to keep chasing through. Does get Yang, going to channel the ulti. White also here to try and make it happen. The damage is massive in the absolute zero, and Yang, he's going to take down Julius. Now Chim also going to go down. White does grab a double kill.
Yeah, Maryland getting a lot of kills back there, and I don't know if Wezzy was just not watching his screen or what happened there, because he was channeling his slingshot to get out and allow Julius to get 3 hits and actually knock him up on this. So this is weird. I don't know if this was like, I don't know what happened. I mean, that is a long time, right? He just doesn't channel it. Has to flash. It's looking very bad for Maryland, but the Talia able to join very, very quickly. I can see the Weaver's wall is going to get popped here. Talia comes flying on in. Yang actually able to buy enough time and gets That is a huge absolute zero. All three of them stayed in essentially a full channel absolute zero. Turns around the fight completely. That is a 3 for nothing.
Yep, and that's face out of mid too, if that ulti had worked out. So
Wezzy is hyped. It's like, I can't believe that worked. I was trolling. What was I doing? I don't know.
And then you interview him afterwards, like, what happened? Like, I was baiting. Don't worry about it. Don't
all
worry.
calculated, all calculated.
Had it all figured out.
All's well that ends well, though. And Maryland looking good.
Well, sure, we'll take that one here as Julius does suffer a death. His first of the series, but still staying strong in 100% kill participation. Wezzy, though, also bearing that honor. And with 4 kills to 2, Maryland off to a much better start than the last game.
Yeah, and the bottom lane definitely is getting advantages here for Western University, but it's nothing like last game, right?
No.
It's not like they're picking up non-stop kills. You know, they did get the turret. That is really the big reward that they've got from their pushing power. So, you know, that really is the edge, and that is what is keeping Western Ontario even in this game, because they're losing elsewhere, right? The mid lane is getting picked on. White is having a very strong game. You know, Wezzy has been doing pretty well here too. So the turret is their advantage. That's kind of the price that was paid by Maryland for playing topside against this map, against this composition.
Yeah, especially against the dual lane there. So I think in some ways expected losses. I think, again, if you consider the total trade across the map, Maryland should be pretty happy with where they're sitting right now. Gold lead's still pretty even. Western Ontario up about 700, but nothing massive right now as both ADs still working towards their first items. Couple completions here and there, mostly just banners. So probably going to be a continued slower pace in this early game. Although, as I say that, starting to collapse. White going to get slowed down. Epic lining it up. There's the flash and there's the kill.
Nicely done. Collapsing from all sides. They get the flash and they get the kill. And they have a banner minion here. So potentially can get some turret damage down. But up on the top side, Yang is here. And he blood boiled the banner minion there. That's a powerful cannon.
Nunu is a funny champion. This is Wezzy trying to keep things out of the way.
Look at that turret!
Like, what do I do? He's like, nothing!
That blood boiled cannon's going nuts!
The caster creeps though, oh, they are trolling. Not going to take it down. Distracted by the minion wave that came in. So that turret lives on 19 health.
You could, at that point, you could basically just like run over and slap it. You can backdoor it, but I don't know if Yang wants to be here.
He's currently has 4 people in his half of the map, so right now he's going to have to back away as Western Ontario have swapped away. Ooh, also turret was low here in the top lane, so we'll lose it. Turret should be at least traded back, but still going to be down 1 after that.
And here's the play, and again, this is one of the situations where I talked about early flashing, right? And the only real chance he had of getting away was breaking the tether. I think once you're tethered, you're dead. You know, if you have not actually flashed by then, there's no real chance of getting out. The caveat there is if White flashes, well, Chim maybe flash follows and actually gets the tether anyway, and then you're still dead. So it's a tough situation to get out of, and really just a good play from Western Ontario to collapse there. And while their karma is behind, and while they're kind of losing in that regard in mid lane, the Caitlyn is winning by a lot. You know, the Caitlyn has knocked down multiple turrets. The Caitlyn is still up a bit in farm, and that is really kind of their big success point, because you have, oh, nice, another engagement.
Yeah, no flash again onto White, so he's going to suffer a second death. Chim able to pick up his first kill of this game.
And that is a squishy Talia, right? Like, there's no HP built, there's no resistances. Not saying that's a wrong build or anything, but it's a target that you can pick on.
Ooh, ult there from Julius, actually. 3 collapse here into mid. Where's he trying to make yet another play?
A good disengage, honestly, from Julius. You know, they know they're at a man disadvantage, so no use risking it. So he just throws down the ultimate, disengages, saves his flash. That's a much shorter cooldown, so going to spend that. And Maryland needs to make something happen, because on the bottom side of the map, they are getting pushed in. Some damage will be done to that turret. Some minions perhaps will be lost. But Kaisa is on Rageblade. Yep. Is looking pretty strong at this point in the game. So we're going to see what we actually have as far as the build for Alrighty. If he is going to go more of just like an AD build, like something like Hurricane IE, etc., or Field of Breakthrough.
Ooh, another good slap together. Alrighty and quick, both here still. White also going to cut them off to the wall. Chim looking to get flicked back and does give a kill over to Alrighty. TP in. Maryland going to try and extend the play. Oh, Nunu. Tough life sometimes. That was a really cute use of traps actually by short up the trap Nunu in the raptor pit, but still the damage could be done.
He's shut in.
Well, no fun allowed. As the tower is also going to go down. Maryland still coming up trumps.
they're looking good. I mean, they're pushing up here. They have the pressure. Jim is gone. There's not a lot of safe wave clearing. They are clearing out here with Shorehop, but still, another turret down. This is a very, very even game. Still a bit of a gold advantage, and the ultimate is available for Epic, so we'll see if they want to go for it. But this should be the Rift Herald over to UMD as well. They have Yang there to help secure, and that could potentially get them another turret. I mean, the top lane turret is at a few HP, right? That is about 1 auto down. If you can knock that down, if you can get another turret with your Herald, you are all of a sudden in the lead, right? So this is within a hair's breadth of them being ahead. But Caitlyn scaling up here for UWO. We know how well Shorehop can play in these team fights, and getting to that 2-item point is going to be pretty critical for him. He doesn't really want to fight against the Kai'Sa when the Kai'Sa is on 1 item, and he's on 1 item.
Yeah, extremely close game at this point. UMB have kind of done well to defend after a very rough game 1. See if they can continue through here in the mid game. University of Western Ontario have showed that even in the slower games, they're happy to play things out. They know what to do.
I mean, Yang is basically just trying to play this annoying hit and run style. He actually just went bot. Oh, we'll talk about that after.
Oh no, White gonna get trapped down again. The flashless Talia continuing to be picked on.
Yeah, they're just going wherever he is. I mean, pretty much every Malphite ult has been a kill on White. He's definitely getting picked on, and that means not only do you die there, you lose the mid lane turret, but Yang ran bot lane, used Absolute Zero to actually kill the wave immediately, bannered and blood boiled the minion, and then just runs away, right? And it's like, he's trying to get pressure on the map, and he's playing it fairly creatively. He's, this pick did not get him a lane advantage, but he's trying to be very effective. He's trying to really kind of get any edge he can, and he is going for full tank, right? So he's rushing towards a randomance now. He knows that the threat is going to be physical damage. It's going to be from Shorehop. It's going to be from Julius. And if he can actually manage to stay alive and zone out of these team fights, and the Taric ultimate coming down, the Kai'Sa diving in, there's a lot of potential for them to win fights as long as they stay close to gold, because Taric is so tough to team fight into, and yes, it's already hard enough to kill like a Zac and a Nunu who are full tank, but when the Taric ultimate comes down and you get the immunity heals, the Bastion shield, and everything on top of that, it becomes extremely hard.
Well, Drake has respawned, so University of Western Ontario will move around. They're trying to take this down, yeah. Maryland defending kind of with their Rift Herald here, hoping to buy some space around the objective.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get them to kind of go respond to that. And if they go respond to that, then you can look for a fight elsewhere.
That wall's so close. If that Speedrun had not been there, Julius was likely dead to right.
Epic's team being in, though, this could be a fight here. Malphite going to be in the middle. Will he cancel? No.
No, it gets the 3-man on. They're going to go back in. Julius looking for the play. Taric hold down. They need this to happen very quickly. Absolute Zero is down. So much damage on the short hop. And White able to pick up the kill. Maryland with such a creative play. We're going to try and turn the fight all the way back around. Western Ontario are going to have to leave the area ASAP.
The tank Nunu just about solo short hop there. That is the key to University of Western Ontario's composition. And he got hit by a full channel Absolute Zero. That was 80 to 90% of his health. As soon as he gets hit by that, the fight is over. A panic flash as well. Decibel Boulder Summoners goes down. And it's going to be UMD grabbing the dragon. So Yang, making me kind of eat my words, finding success outside of laning fights, finding success in those team fights, but already might get chased down here.
No flash. How fast is in Jowl? Pretty quick. Oh, Karma Shield's going to make it awfully unfair. And Alrighty is going to fall.
Yep, phase rush speed up. They're collapsing. There's 3 men coming down. Jim, it's time to just abandon ship.
Continuing the play. Yeah, Jim's out of there. Just like, yep, just leave me be. I'll buy some time. Who's going to get the kill through the Talia? And White does collect credit for it. Turret also going to get sieged up here with the banner minion. Yang is everywhere across this map.
Yeah, and again, you can blood boil those minions, which makes them very, very effective, with that banner. But short hop, Blaze Nova pushing mid, getting something out of this. Yes, they lost a kill on bot, but they got a kill on bot. They get a tower mid. The tower may be traded back on the bottom side, and it is to that Rift Herald. So these teams really just going blow for blow. This is a very exciting, very close game between 2 top programs.
Well, again, with that tower still being very weakened in the top side, just consumes the Scuttle Crab, takes it for himself, as Yang now going to rotate top, and I think finally put the last nail in that top outer turret's coffin. Face checks. It's okay though.
Thank you.
And the turret does fall, so again, only 1 turret between the 2 teams now. White roaming again. Looking here for a short hop, he's got no summoners from the last play. Net over the wall, very well played by the Caitlyn. And now Julius going to try and make something happen back, but it's just a feint more than anything else.
Exactly. I mean, if Julius dashes in there, then it's a one-way trip, right? You have to be sure you're going to win that. And that is why Xin Zhao is very tough, especially into tanks, especially into the Taric. And you know, he's building full damage, right? He's going Triforce. He's going to put out a lot of DPS, but if you go in and the Taric ultimate comes out, you're in trouble.
That dazzle was so sweet, but Wesley's found the two-man knock-up already. Straight in there with the Kaiser on that short up down again. Blaze Nova looking to go back as the shove will collect the next kill.
It's going to be Baron. I mean, they're going to go straight forward. They have the Nunu to help secure here. If you time your consume plus the smite of Zac at the same time, there should be no way for Julius to steal this, but they're going to try to harass. It is a 3v5. They saw someone go into the brush, but they don't really know what's going on. Now they know the Baron has been started. We'll see if they can delay.
Level 3 consume only for Yang. Instead, they look for the fight. Wesley again finds 2 for the grab. Ultimate down there. Epic going to try and buy some time, but he's going to go down. Burns the flash instead. Maryland will give it up and go back to the Baron. Julius still here for his steal attempt, but he doesn't have flash.
Yeah, and he has no vision. That's the hardest part. And it's against Smite Consume. He may feel he needs to go for it, but this is not a 50-50.
Yep,
this
Yang
is like
says
a
no.
90-10.
Chase them out with the snowballs. Nothing to do as a smite is true
Gonna
for
get run
Wesley.
down now too.
Yep. Snowballs for days. Yang, every layer of the Nunu is starting to unfold.
Oh, Black Shield.
Oh, all right, that could be good.
He's so
Snowball.
fast.
Yep. Team best moves feed pretty good, but nice play there from Blaze Nova to save his teammate. Only a Baron.
I mean, this
for
is
Maryland after the play.
Yeah, this is really well done here from Maryland. They go straight in. Good Black Shield here from Blaze Nova, but then the problem is your 2 carries that are right beside you are vulnerable, and Wezzy finds that immediately. The Black Shield expended on himself, and the flash immediately from Wezzy slaps the 2 together. They take down Short Hop, and again, it's all about Short Hop. If he dies, there's no win in a fight for UWO on any reasonable terms, right? He must survive, and in both the team fights they have had, he has gotten taken down once by the Absolute Zero in the Dragon Pit, there by a beautiful flash play from Wezzy, locking him down and taking him out. And if you hit that CC, it means Kaisa's diving in, and it means you are probably going down.
And while I was kind of checking out Yang to consume, just to see how dedicated he was to getting the objectives, has 3 right now, 4 points in Snowball, which means he maxed Blood Boil. A man truly committed to the banner of Command Nunu.
Support life. You support your Blood Boil.
So far, so good, as again, kind of this very creative Nunu pick is tying the room together surprisingly nicely.
It's working a lot better than Tom Kench. I gotta give him credit.
That's certainly true.
I mean, I think it shouldn't have worked as well as it did at the Dragon Pit. I think that was some user error, but you know, it's one of those situations where it has been very effective. He's so incredibly tanky. You're buffing up your hyper carry. He's zoning in the team fights, and he's just being a general nuisance.
It's a very good word to describe Nunu as well. He's looking for the big play again. Slapping them all together. The shot's going to find Epic, who does counter ult for a couple. White, they're going to cut them off. Trap
the zero.
a couple on the other side of it. The 0 onto Epic is enough damage. They'll take him down. Julia's going to get the ult down and knock them back in. But Chin now going to go down to Alrighty. They're diving back through. Short Up can't get to the fight. 4 kills coming through. Taric gets a double in the mess. And Short Up finally doesn't die, but he's the only one left.
Yeah, I mean, that is a 4-for-1. Taric didn't even use his ult. Quirk didn't even feel the need to drop the ultimate there, as Zac, I believe, still had his passive up. So they are just going straight in. This is potentially just the end of the game. I think it is.
Blood Boil could be strong enough. Short Hop barely nets out from under, but already this
That's
says,
it.
You're stunned. I'm going to Killer Instinct and take you down. The ace completed for the University of Maryland. And Yang and the Nunu are going to surge forward, buff up his teammates, and tear down these turrets. Finally, a quarterfinal will be pushed to a 3rd and final game. Maryland strike back in a very, very creative fashion, but it's more than enough to give them one last game.
Really well played Game 2 here. And the final quarterfinals, we get that 3rd game. We're going the distance here. And honestly, Yang made the Nunu work. You know, it was pretty effective in those team fights, and White had a very strong early game. Alrighty and Quirk are able to survive the laning phase and get Kaisa to this point where she was very, very strong. And when you build this composition, you know, all around your AD carry, as UWO did, and your AD carry is getting picked off and he's getting taken out, there's not much going for
The damage graph. Unfortunately, you guys can't see it. I'm looking at the damage graph over here. It is amazing. Nunu did.
He did more damage than Kaisa.
Less damage than Zac.
Less damage.
Which is what I was loving.
5 less damage.
Oh, that's true. I mean,
He did a great job.
He did. I didn't see the other. We'll get to guess that later. I'm sure it's fun to look at. I mean, It was so funny. They're like, oh yeah, like Nunu's very annoying in lane. Maybe he can get some pressure down. He's like, okay, he's going banner. Oh, that makes sense too. Maxing Bobo. Okay, I can kind of see it. And the absolute zero kill happened. Like,
Yeah.
every piece of Nunu's kit was used in that game.
Yeah.
And I thought we'd get maybe half an ability to be relevant.
I mean, he did really well. This was actually such a big fight in the game. At this point in the game, UWO was so far ahead. It felt like they had complete control. And again, full channel, absolute zero. I do not know how he managed to get so many off, but there was this one, the one at the Dragon Pit. It was 2 full channel absolute zeros where he just put out such a tremendous amount of damage in the team fight. And whether you're a full tank or not, if you get a full channel of that ability, it is an insane amount of AoE damage. So, you know, whether UWO just kind of underestimating the amount of damage that could come out, maybe not expecting, you know, what it could kind of put forward, or really, I'm not sure what else to say besides that, but it's just one of those situations where they didn't prepare for it, they didn't kind of expect it in the team fights, and they got taken down because of that. You know, Short Hop, you know, got blasted by the Dragon fight, and he just did a really good job zoning and kind of controlling space, which allowed his carries to kind of roam free.
And the confidence kind of kept rising there. We'll take a look at a replay. Maryland really just continuing to find fights and force this. I mean, this is just such a great, confident-looking dive.
Yeah, I mean, they dive in, they have the Baron buff. Epic gets a great ultimate. It's on 4, but look at the absolute zero. No one can enter. The Taliyah wall has sectioned almost everyone off. Short Hop can't get any damage out. You know, that is really their carry, and it's crazy how aggressively they did this without even ever feeling the need to drop the Taric ultimate. That was available that whole time. He didn't even need it in the team fight because they were tanking up the turret, you know, with his Zac.
And now you can all at home experience the beautiful damage graph there. We knew Cosmic Radiance was good to empower a carry. We just didn't think the carry would be Nunu.
Yep, Nunu, well, the carry was the banner minion. Nunu's blood boiling him, you could tell.
That's true. If only hit more champions, we would have done way more damage.
That's true, that's true. But Xin also, you know, Julius again, having a pretty strong game. I mean, he did almost the most damage in the game as an aggressive melee fighter from the jungle, right? Which is usually not the case. You know, champions in lane generally have a lot more damage put out because they're getting poked, they're trading in lane. But he was able to be very effective, you know, with his very aggressive Xin build. But you see, even from a point of power, when your team falls behind, Xin doesn't do much, right? Like there's no utility, there's nothing else going on. You jump in, you try to kill someone. If you kill them, it's great. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah. I think credit to White as well. Had a really good game on the clear, kind of putting it all together. But I am pleased to announce the series is now all tied up. So meet us here after the break to see if Maryland or Western Ontario earned their spot in the semifinals. Don't touch that browser. Top lane gonna get a visit here. Oh, Epic clips him after the flash, and now Julius insta-flashes in with the robot, looking for the kill. He's gonna grab it. It's first blood. Does get yanked. Gonna channel the ulti. White also gonna try and make it happen. The damage is massive and the absolute zero, and yank! He's gonna take down Julius.
I got him. Good. I pulled them all out.
Oh, that dazzle was so sweet, but Wesley's found the 2-man knockup already. Straight in there with the Kaiser on that short up down again. Blaze Nova looking to go back in the shop. Will collect the next kill. They'll take him down. Julius gonna get the ult down and knock them back in. But Chinna gonna go down to alrighty. They're diving back through. Short up. Can't get to the fight. 4 kills coming through. Taric gets a double in the mess. Finally, a quarterfinal will be pushed to a third and final game.